Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First off, I want to thank you all for the incredible feedback we've gotten so early on in our YouTube life. To thank you all, as we grow, we're giving away an incredible package for every 100 new subscribers. We'll have a raffle. When we get to 300, we're giving away a Bad Birdie package, 400, 500, etc. We're doing it up to, I think, 12 or 1300. So as the prizes go, they get more and more, let's say, valuable. You'll see stuff from Creed, Parfums de Marly, the golf industry, etc. So let's get in today's video first. So about a month or so ago, I did a video on my journey with Creed Aventus. And some people disagreed, some people agreed, but again, it's subjective. But I appreciate and love the feedback, and if you see the comments, I respond pretty quickly. So my friends at Creed reached out to me and said, what else would you like to review? And I've smelled most of theirs, but some of them, it's been years, if not a decade, from the last time I had put my nose onto them. So they sent me their 5 or 6 top sellers, plus the new one for females, the Spring Flowers, I believe it's called, Flowers, to kind of test them. And then what we're going to do is smell them on paper, let them dry down, come back in an hour or so, and then rank them, including Aventus and Aventus Cologne, of what our favorites are. So let's get started. First one up is Spring Flowers. I have not smelled this one yet, so we shall see. I mean, obviously very floral, beautiful scent. Very, very nice, very nice. Okay, so let's go to the next one up, Millésime Impérial. So for those who don't know, I'm actually out of Cleveland, and there's a funny story with this. So LeBron James, as a rookie, wanted to buy the gold bottle of cologne, and obviously it was Millésime Impérial, and he refused to pay the amount, which I think was $240, $225 back in the day. But just a funny little story, and this was at Saks. I love Imperial. I loved it 20 years ago. I still like it. I think the constructive criticism on this is it's very faint. And I did try this a few days ago to wear it, and I love it. Beautiful fragrance. But I would say for me, and maybe it's olfactory, I don't notice that it's on my skin after a few hours. But definitely one of the most beautiful scents Creed has done. All right, next one up, Silver Mountain Water. Again, one I put my nose on years ago, but have not. And this one starts off, I know people say this is a tea fragrance. Again, I notice a little floral in this one, flowers, certainly the opening, a lighter scent. Definitely one of the nicer ones. Yeah, so that one's good. Maybe the most famous Creed fragrance there ever was, Green Iris Tweed. This was, for those who don't know, this was Creed's top seller for at least 20 years prior to Aventus hitting the market. And this was literally the fragrance of superstars. I remember Tom Cruise, and there were so many others. Jay-Z, I think, at one point wore something like this, or wore this one. So Green Iris Tweed, if you had never put your nose on it, very, very, very green, and exactly what the name of it is. A beautiful, I'm in April, so a beautiful time of the year to wear this fragrance. But yeah, still like Green Iris Tweed. Now we'll get into, to me, the heavy hitters. This next one may be the best I think I've ever smelled out of Creed. Royal Oud. If you have never smelled Royal Oud, it is just a mind-blowing, gorgeous fragrance. I know a lot of people critique there's not wood, it's more of a cedar wood. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous scent. Okay, so we've got that one. Now, I think my other favorite in this group so far, Original Santal. Again, an oldie but goodie, sandalwood, warm, creamy, Just a gorgeous scent. I mean, this is just gorgeous. This is about as good, I think, as a fragrance gets. Warm, creamy sandalwood. Just beautiful. Another heavy hitter, Aventus Cologne. And again, I like, as if you watch the other video, I like this more than the next one now. It's fresher. It's almost reminds me of, I'm trying to put my nose on, like a Versace mixed with Aventus. To me, almost a little Isimiaki Pour Homme from years ago mixed in with Aventus, a fresher version of it. And then lastly, you guys know, look at that atomizer, wow. Aventus. So Aventus is still great. You know, again, we're not gonna get to the whole batch of numbers and all that nonsense today, but Aventus is still a great fragrance. And I will say, for me personally, it smells very different on paper than it does on my skin. On paper, it projects sweeter. On my skin, it kind of gets more, I won't say darker, but definitely a little deeper. So we'll give it about an hour. We'll come back. We'll rank them, give the note breakdown, and then we'll see which one's number one. Hey guys, welcome back. It's been about 90 minutes or so. So now we'll get into the note breakdown. Then we'll rate and where they feel in my little world where the Creed fragrances rank, and then we'll kind of go from there. So let's start off with the first one with Spring Flowers. This is a brand new release from Creed, so I thank them for sending me a little sample of this. Beautiful fragrance. Top notes are bergamot, grapefruit, lemon. Middle notes are apricot, jasmine, peach, and white flower. Base notes are ambergris, cedar, and musk. It's a beautiful fragrance for a woman. Perfect time of year, April through summer. Gorgeous fragrance. We'll get on to the next. Millésime Impérial. Again, one of my absolute favorites. This goes back 15, 20 years. I've loved this one. The gold bottle, then the gold bottle changed, and now the gold bottle's back. So let's get to the note breakdown. Top note is bergamot, blackcurrant, violet leaves. Middle notes are mandarin, orris. Base notes are cedar, sandalwood. Gorgeous. I never really realized there was sandalwood in here. Maybe that's what draws me to this, but beautiful fragrance. Next one up is Silver Mountain Water. I have sampled this one probably 100 times in my life. Never purchased it. One of the things that I will say I enjoy about fragrances, just had this conversation the other day with somebody, is stuff you may have hated 5 years ago, you revisit and you adore it and appreciate it. And some stuff you wore 10, 12 years ago that you loved, it's boring, you're ready to move on from it. So it's such a neat world where some of my favorite fragrances today are ones from 20 years ago that I didn't like 10 years ago. So anyway, Silver Mountain Water. Top note's bergamot, blackcurrant, orange. Middle note is tea. I think tea is the most famous note in this one. The base notes are musk and sandalwood. Boy, a lot of sandalwood in these. Beautiful fragrance. Again, that may be the next one I purchase. Next one up is Green Iris Tweed. Top notes. Peppermint, lemon, bergamot. Did not know there was peppermint in here. Middle notes, geranium, lavender. Base notes, sandalwood, cedar, oak moss. I enjoy Green Iris Tweed, but I don't know if I told this story already, but there are a number of fragrances that I wear. Green Iris Tweed is one. Bleecker Street. Any really green fragrance does something where it's an allergic reaction. I cough. Vetiver's one. So something in those, I don't think it's peppermint. It could be lavender. I cough all day. So I don't love those guys as much. Okay, next one up. Original Santal. This is just a gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous fragrance. Top notes: ginger, juniper, bergamot, rose, mandarin. Had no idea there was that many notes in this. Middle notes: lavender, sandalwood. Base notes: oak moss and cedar. Absolutely adore Original Santal. Have since I bought it years ago. You know, that's one that I will say nobody ever complains about batch numbers on. Just saying. All right, next one up, Royal Oud. Shout out to my boy Rodney who worked at the New York boutique. I'll tell you a funny story. So years ago, this was being tested, and I bought a flacon of Aventus, and he said, "You've got to put your nose on this. I'll send you a sample." And in a certain language, he said it was a blank dropper. So I thought it was interesting. So I always laugh when I received it. He wasn't wrong. It's again, I think the top 3 of all Creed fragrances ever, but we'll get into this. So top notes: pink pepper, lime, bergamot. Middle notes: cedarwood, cardamom. I think that's what I love about this. It's the cardamom. Base notes: musk, cedarwood, gaiac wood, and smoke. Just a gorgeous, and oud, hence the name. Okay, now we'll get into the big boys. Aventus Cologne, pink pepper, ginger, mandarin. Middle notes: vetiver, patchouli, pineapple. Base notes: birch and musk. I will say 2 things about these guys. I know I just reviewed them a couple months ago. For me, I love the birch dry down. It's what I enjoy about Aventus and Aventus Cologne. I also love the freshness of the Cologne version versus the original. The mandarin does something very different than, I think, the lemon, and people say pineapple. There's no pineapple in the top notes of the other one. We'll get into that. But I enjoy those, I think, aspects. The birch and the mandarin, I love. And the patchouli. I love the patchouli in Aventus, which I think is overlooked by a lot of people. All right, last one up. The King Aventus. Top notes: lemon, pink pepper. Middle notes: pineapple, jasmine, patchouli. Base notes: birch, ambergris, cedar, oak moss, and musk. Okay, so we've done all these. Now let's rank them. The bottom of the list, just because it's a female fragrance, in the 8th spot will be Spring Flowers. Real quick. So when I did my Aventus journey a month or so ago, I had a number of people respond and said, Creed's done nothing in the last 25 years outside of Aventus. The brand is dead. Again, it's subjective, it's opinions. What I would say is, find me a better house than Creed. Find me 8 fragrances that you can't pick the top 1 out of. It's difficult. There are Killians, there's Parfums de Marly. Yes, there's a number of these guys out there. But 8, and I didn't even do some of their other ones. Creed is a phenomenal brand. Yes, they don't roll new fragrances out every 6 months like designers, but what a brand. I mean, this is hard for me to go through. And again, I wasn't told which ones to pick, or I wasn't paid to do these. So, all right, so we have Spring Flower. Next one up is, oh boy. Okay, well, I've already kind of said Green Iris Tweed makes me cough. So even though it was a top seller for 20 plus years, it doesn't sit well with me. So we'll say number 7 is Green Iris Tweed. Number 6, and again, these are legends, which makes me laugh, which is legends. Is it Millésime Impérial? The next guy up at 5 will say, even though I said I'd buy it next, Silver Mountain Water. Just a beautiful fragrance overall. Okay, now we're getting to heavy hitters. So who's left is Original Santal, Royal Oud, Aventus, and Aventus Cologne. I'm going to go number 4. It's going to shock a lot of you people. Regular Aventus. I've had it for 12 years. I'm not saying I'm bored of it. It's a beautiful fragrance. I'm just done. Aventus Cologne. would be my third, still one of my favorites. Every time I spray this, I like wearing it. There are very few times I've worn this and said, ugh, of all fragrances, you picked this today. It's just a great fragrance. So 2 left. Okay, my number 2, Royal Oud. My number 1 has been in my top 3 of all fragrances for the last 15 years, I would say, minimally, Original Santal. So before you go, as I mentioned at the beginning of this, one of the things we're doing as we grow is we're giving away very cool prizes to thank you guys for subscribing to us on Instagram and YouTube. So Create sent me these beautiful fragrances to test out, and these higher end testers. I'm going to give those all away, and they also sent me these beautiful books. These are editions 1 through 3. This is an annual thing they're going to do for the next 3 years. I will be giving these and those samples away to a lucky subscriber. Follow the channel. If you have any questions, comments, things you'd like us to review, obviously there's a ton of fragrances out there, a ton we'll be doing. Let us know and we'll try to track them down and get to them. Some of these fragrances you guys asked me to test domestically in the U.S. we can't get. So if there's anything I can't get, I'll let you guys know that, hey, I just can't even find it. But again, subscribe, like, comment. If there's anything you guys want to see, let us know. But most importantly, I appreciate your time spent with us watching. Love the feedback, so keep it up. And again, thanks for watching.